everyone, this is Pet Crochets. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be experimenting with ribbons. This is my first time attempting to crochet with ribbon or making anything with ribbons actually. I went to Michael's as always. I'm always at Michael's. If you ever need me, I'm at Michael's. I went to Michael's to get some ribbon for a gift that I was wrapping, and I decided to pick up a few extra rolls of this satin ivory color. And then right next to it, I saw a faux denim ribbon. I've never seen this type of ribbon before. I thought it was very interesting, and immediately I knew that I wanted to crochet something with this beautiful denim color mixed with this satin ivory. So I started crocheting with the denim ribbon first, and then I decided why not film the process and make it sort of a mini tutorial. Look at this denim ribbon. It's so unique. I've never seen anything like it. I grabbed all of the rolls off the shelf as soon as I saw it. However, they only had 5 rolls and 5 rolls of the ivory ribbon. Honestly, I wasn't really sure what direction to take this in. I started off with making the bust cups and decided that I want to make kind of a pseudo bralette. I love the way this project turned out. This is what the final product looks like. Honestly, I just had so much fun crocheting with the ribbon and kind of challenging myself to make something with unconventional yarn. I really love the look of this denim ribbon, and I actually really want to go back and grab more and make a matching skirt maybe, I'm not sure, or maybe like a matching bag. I think it's just such an interesting ribbon and texture, and I can't wait to experiment more with it. This is how I styled the top. I wore it over a white flowy dress. I felt like the dress really helped to balance out some of the bulkiness from the top. If you guys like my content, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I have many more tutorials on the way. Let's get started. So before I started filming, I had already started making one of the bust cups. So here I am making the second one. This is a size 8mm hook. To start, we're going to begin with a slip knot, and we're going to place this on our hook. We're going to be making foundation double crochet stitches. So to do that, we're going to start off with a chain up of 3. Now we're going to yarn over and go back into that very first chain we made and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through the top loop, and then do a double crochet. This might be a little bit difficult to see. If you go back into one of my other tutorials, I'll put a link up. I show more clearly how to do the foundation double crochet stitches. I'll also probably make a separate tutorial on how to do these foundation chainless stitches. So you're going to make 3 of these foundation double crochet stitches to start. Here is my 3 foundation double crochet stitches. Now we're going to start the next row with a chain up of 2 and turning our work. We're going to place a double crochet into the first stitch, and then into the second stitch we're placing 3 double crochets. So we're increasing by 2 stitches. We're trying to make a triangular cup. So here's my first double crochet into that middle stitch, my second double crochet, and I like to add a stitch marker after that second double crochet so I know where to increase in the following rows. Now since we're adding 3, I'm placing 1 more double crochet into that very same stitch. Then we're going to continue by double crocheting into that last stitch, and the final double crochet is going to go into the top of that chain 2 all the way at the end. So at the end you should have a total of 6 stitches. We'll start the next row with a chain up of 2 and we'll turn our work. For this next row, we're going to double crochet into every single stitch with no increase. So 1 double crochet into that stitch marker. Guys, it is so tiring to crochet with ribbon because it's so thick and you kind of have to pull really hard. My arms and my hands were definitely cramping. Okay, so I made this stitch marker. I removed the stitch marker and I'm placing only 1 double crochet into the stitch marker because we're not increasing, and placing the stitch marker right back after I've completed that double crochet. So once again, in case it's not clear, we're going to be placing a double crochet into every single stitch. That includes the very first stitch that holds the chain up of 2, and then we're increasing into the stitch marker by placing 3 double crochet, and then the final double crochet in the top of that chain 2. Here I'm just showing you guys how I join the new ribbon with the tail of the ribbon that I'm using. I'm basically joining them together as I would with yarn and doing a magic knot. To do a magic knot, you basically knot one end and then knot the other end and then pull the 2 knots together. I find that it's a very secure hold and bond, and it creates a smaller knot as opposed to just tying them together. So here I'm just completing the double crochets. This is my no increase row. We're now ready for the next row, so we're going to chain 2, turn our work. This row is going to be our increase row, so we're going to be increasing into the stitch marker. So we're placing 3 double crochets into that stitch marker. So here I am removing the stitch marker. Into that stitch, here goes my first double crochet, my second double crochet, after which I put the stitch marker right back, and then back into that very same stitch we're adding 1 more double crochet, so we're increasing by 2 into the stitch marker. Then you're just going to continue double crocheting down the end of the row, and don't forget to place that final double crochet into the top of that turning chain. So these are the rows that I kept repeating. I kept repeating the increase and no increase rows until the bra cup was big enough that it gave me the coverage that I desired for my chest. So here I am working on those rows. I believe I did a total of 6 or 7 rows. It wasn't that many because the ribbon was so thick that the rows build up quickly. Here I am just measuring it up to the other bra cup. Of course, you're going to be making 2 bra cups, so you're going to repeat all of these steps for the second cup. I've just finished my second cup, and I'm not going to be taking my hook out because we're going to continue working from here. So you're going to get your other bra cup and match up the corners together, making sure that they're facing the same way, like so. And you're going to place your hook into the corner stitch of the other bra cup. Once you have the hook into the other corner stitch, you can join the 2 panels together with a slip stitch. So you're grabbing the yarn and pulling it through both of those bra cup panels. And as you can see, they're joined together. Now we're going to chain up 1, cut and pull the yarn through to secure it, and that will finish the bra cup portion of the top. From here, I grabbed my ivory satin ribbon and I decided to work on the top straps. So to work on the straps, you're going to begin with a slip knot, and you're going to place your hook into the corner stitch at the top of one of the bra cups. You're going to pull the slip knot through that stitch, chain up 1, and then into the very next stitch, you're going to make a single crochet, and then you're going to do 1 last single crochet for the last stitch. Remember, we started with 3 foundation double crochet stitches, so that would be 3 stitches. So you have the slip knot, we have the 2 single crochets for a total of basically 3 stitches. For the next row, you're going to chain up 1 and turn your work, and then you're going to single crochet into the second stitch or the last stitch, so you're skipping a stitch. I did it this way so that the chain or the strap was in the center of the bra cup. So at this point, you're just going to keep chaining to your desired length. You might want to keep count of how many chains you make because we're going to be doing these exact same steps for the other side. So here I am making a chain. I just kind of measured it around my neck to make sure that it was long enough to wrap around the back of my neck so I could tie it at the back here. When you feel like it's long enough, you're just going to make 1 extra chain, cut, and pull the yarn through to secure. Or ribbon, not yarn. Now we're going to repeat the steps for the other side. So once again, you're making a slip knot. You're pulling the slip knot through the corner stitch of the top of that bra cup. We're chaining up 1 and then doing 2 single crochets, chain up 1, single crochet into the second stitch, and then you're going to make a chain that is the same length as the other chain that you made earlier. So here I'm just measuring them together, and once I'm done, I'm doing 1 extra chain and pulling that ribbon through. Now we're going to start on the body of the top. So I'm going to find the corner of the base of the bra cups. I'm putting my hook through, and I'm going to pull a slip knot through that corner stitch. Once that's nice and secure, I'm doing a chain up of 2. I'm going to turn my work, and we're going to be placing a double crochet into every single stitch along the base of this bra cup. You also want to make sure that you add a double crochet into that center slip stitch that we made earlier to connect the 2 cups together. So here I am, I'm placing a double crochet into every single stitch and working all the way down. Once again, you don't want to forget to add that double crochet into the center slip stitch where we connected the 2 panels together. Once you get to the end, you're going to chain up 2 and turn your work. And from here, you're just going to keep repeating these double crochet rows until it's your desired length. I did 3 rows because I was running out of ribbon, but you can definitely make it as long or as short as you'd like. Like I said, I was kind of just going with the flow here and seeing what I could do with the very limited amount of ribbon I had. And we always have time for a quick puppy break. So I'm just working on the double crochet rows. Naru was definitely getting in the way. I almost poke her eye right there. Look at the fury in her eyes. I'll meet you guys at the end when I finish my double crochet rows for the body of this top. I made it to the end. So to finish off, you're going to do 1 extra chain, cut, and pull the ribbon through. I am loving the way, look at the happiness in my eyes. I'm just loving the way that this is coming out. I was a little skeptical at first, but I could definitely see the vision of how beautiful this top was going to come out, and I was getting so excited. Now we're going to work on the strap for the back. This was actually my last roll of ribbon, so I was getting very nervous here. So to do the strap for the back, you start off with a slip knot, and I placed my hook into the base of that bra cup on the side. So you're going to pull the slip knot through, then you're going to chain 1 and start slip stitching down the side of the top. So here I didn't show that. I actually took this apart and did it over again because where I had started doing the chains kind of made the bottom of the top bulky and awkward, so it looked better to have the strap start down lower. When you're done with the strap, you can chain 1, cut, and secure, and I'm going to have a close-up of what I mean with these slip stitches. So as you can see here, I did my chain up of 1, and I slip stitched into those stitches at the side of the top until I reached the very end, the corner. That's when I started doing my chains. You want to make sure that the chains are long enough that it gives you enough strap that you can wrap it around your back and tie it. So once again, I did the same thing for the other side as well. To finish off this portion of the top, we're basically done. We just have to weave in all of these ends and add the ribbons. So at first I tried weaving the ends in with a darning needle, but the ribbon was actually too thick and wouldn't go through the hole. So I kind of just did it this way, where I took a hook and pull the ribbon through randomly to make sure that it was secure. This next step is optional, but I find that it might be necessary when using ribbon. You want to take a lighter and very carefully hold the tip of the fire against the end of the ribbon without touching the ribbon too much. And basically what it does is that the heat will help seal the ends of the ribbon to prevent it from fraying. So once again, I'm just taking this other piece of ribbon here and weaving it in, using my hook to kind of go under the loops and pull the ribbon through. When I felt like it was secure enough, I like to trim off the ends. And I'm going to show you one more time. I'm using heat. See how I'm not really touching the ribbon? I'm kind of glazing it over, and this will help to seal those ends in. You want to be careful that you don't burn your fingers during this process. Now I just went around the entire top and did that for all of the loose ends. Once we're done with weaving the ends in, we're ready for adding the bows. I'm going to have a separate video, a very quick one, on how to make these bows. They're so quick and easy. Basically, I made 3. I made a larger one for the center and 2 smaller ones to kind of hide the bulkiness of the transition from the denim ribbon to the satin ribbon at the top of the strap area. And it also added a cute little touch to the top. It's funny because I actually started out with sewing rather than crocheting when I was a kid, and I still can't sew. I pricked my finger like 5 or 6 different times and just cut the footage because it was so embarrassing. But if you know how to sew, kudos to you, because I find it very difficult. Anyway, we're going to sew this on, and we're going to add 2 more little bows to the top like I said. And oh my goodness, look how much I'm struggling. It's just so hard for me to sew for some reason, but if it works, right? Okay, so I'm trimming off the ends here. We're going to flip this around. Look how beautiful that looks. Oh, it looks perfect. And I'm adding 2 more bows to the top here to kind of hide that awkward bumpiness. So here's my first one. And now I'm just going to add my second bow right up there. Once we're done with the bows, that's basically the top. I only had like 2 or 3 centimeters of ribbon left at the end of this, so I just barely made it. But here is what the final product looks like. I love this top. I think it's so interesting. It was a really fun challenge trying to create something with the very limited amount of ribbon that I had. I actually really love the outcome, and I wasn't sure how to style this because it is a very particular top and it is very bulky. But I found that if I wore kind of more of a bottom heavy dress or like a flowy dress at the bottom, it helped to balance out some of that bulkiness. Here it is paired with that dress and some brown boots. You guys know that I practically live in these boots. I love them so much. I have many more crochet tutorials on the way very soon, so subscribe to my channel so you don't miss anything. As always, thank you for all the support, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye everyone!